Feral cats carried out of a house fire on a gurney, really windy weather coming your way in central Pennsylvania, and a scene what appears to look from Final Destination happening literally in our backyard on the highway. It's all coming up right now. You're watching YouTube Live with us. I'm Jasmine Brooks. Thanks for joining me. But first things first, we're bringing in TJ Anthony, who joins me in studio. He has been working on a story all day long about a woman, specifically a sergeant with the Harrisburg Police Department. She was on the job for 2 decades and has stepped down, but isn't necessarily leaving in peace. What's going down here?
Yeah. So, hey, Jasmine, thank you so much for having me on here. So, went through this lawsuit. The lawsuit is about maybe 14 pages, and it was filed actually a few weeks ago, back in November. What's interesting is it lays out 2 specific instances where this lady felt like she was slighted because of the fact that she is a woman. So, it was the fact of her gender, she feels like was slighted in these cases. And each of these situations dealt with a promotion within her unit, or it also dealt with moving up in a rank as well. So back in 2016, she had actually applied to be a motorcycle operator. And in the suit, it says that she was possibly the only female applicant to apply. It also said she was very much qualified for that role too. And after she applied, she expressed interest even to one of the department heads and still did not get it. And the suit also says that, in fact, no one ended up getting the role, which is pretty interesting. Then it talked about another case that happened not too long ago in 2023. And it said that she took a test required to be promoted to sergeant. So she did get promoted as sergeant, but she really wanted to be a part of a specific unit, the criminal investigation division. Instead, she was moved to another unit, which she felt as though she couldn't care for her parents because she had to work overnight. And in the criminal investigation unit, she would work a schedule of 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So overall, she just felt like she was just done wrong, because the suit also says 2 men who scored lower on that exam actually got that role. So she just wants justice in this case. They are demanding a jury as well. So we'll have to see whether or not the city decides to settle, or if they do want to go to trial with this. We did reach out to them, but they
What? So okay, so she's bringing this to the courts, right? So what exactly do you think is going to happen here? Did she actually talk to you?
So I did not speak with her. I did speak with her lawyer. So what's interesting is she wasn't able to speak this week because she is helping her parents. So this is something that she's been dealing with for a while. And that's why she said she couldn't work this schedule anymore because of the unworkable hours. So hopefully I will speak with her next week. She does want to speak about this. She really wants to get her story out there, get her story heard. So her lawyer was able to speak with me about this. And he said he does believe this is an issue not only going on across the country, but he said across central PA, where people are getting discriminated against due to their gender. So he thinks this is a big issue here. So we kind of talked about that.
And those not in favor with what she has to say, what do they have to say?
Well, that's the thing. We have not heard from the defendants yet. They declined to comment. So I'm sure we'll hear from them, as the time goes on and as court dates are set in stone.
Why does her lawyer think that she has a case here? I mean, we all get shifts that we don't want, and sometimes it leads us to leaving the job. What specifically with the gender are we talking about?
Yeah, well, the lawyer was very sure at the fact that, this happens all the time. So that was one of his main concerns. He said he's been doing this for years now. He's been representing employees that are discriminated against in the workplace. And so he said when he read the facts in this case, he had to take it. It was something that he felt very strongly about.
All right. Well, TJ, we look forward to your reporting and obviously the interview with the actual sergeant next week. Hopefully that will happen so we can ask more questions and see some specific examples of how she thought she was discriminated, time and time again in the workplace. Thanks so much for joining me.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. The next story, kind of crazy because I'm a cat lover. So anything I can do, if I see a stray cat, I'm feeding it, right? And they as in even animal advocates, like that is not the best thing for cats to protect these feral cats in this way. Catch and release a whole other thing. Look at this gorgeous house that is now just burnt to nothing. This was allegedly started by a heater outside put to heat or warm feral cats. The story gets even crazier when you see that cats were rescued from the house, reportedly carried out on a gurney. Cats carried out on a gurney. That's right. So it happened in York County, by the way. Full story at CBS21.com. But dozens of crews put out the house fire. It happened on Tuesday, again, caused by a heater on the porch meant to provide warmth to these feral cats. It happened around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and firefighters on the scene said the smoke was so thick. You can see the house is a total loss there, burnt to a crisp. And again, it was all someone trying to do something kind. Space heaters are nothing to mess with. We know that, right? The next story, caught on camera, it really looks like a scene from the movie Final Destination. I'm sure you have seen it. If not, you're going to know what I'm talking about. The logs flying off that truck. This coming from a different direction. It was actually lumber you're seeing right there. And it went right across the highway. I actually just got off a Zoom call with the guy behind the wheel there. His name is Derek Gooderham. He is an Uber driver, caught it all on camera, and he said that he didn't know what was going on, right? He thought the bridge was collapsing on top of him. But you can see a car gets pushed to the side right across the highway there as that lumber was coming down. On top of that bridge, right, was the tractor trailer. It overturned, sending the lumber just barreling down onto I-83 North. This was around 5 o'clock, rush hour, a lot of people on the roads there, but that lumber came barreling down. Can you believe no one was hurt in this? No one was hurt in this, but the guy, again, behind the wheel that I just talked to, Derek, he says that when he got up to that other car, right, he says he yelled out the window, "Are you okay?" And the other driver couldn't even talk, like just in shock, apparently. And so what happened then is he kept going because he had to get out. He did not know what was really happening in real time. So he had to get out of the way. He really thought the bridge was collapsing, but you're going to hear from Derek and what he says that was like and his thoughts kind of after all that went down. He's been driving, by the way, for Uber for a few months, but before that, he drove for another service and said that he's been on the road for 2 years nonstop, really, with his jobs. And this was by far the craziest thing. Again, those dash cam videos can be so telling, but really scary stuff there. Another really crazy caught on camera moment deals with a train, snow, and a milk truck. Police say a driver of a truck narrowly escaped getting hit by a train. The video all caught on camera. The driver works for a dairy company and was delivering milk. And that's when this happened. Look at that. The train just going right into it. Again, he was able to get out of the cab right before the train crashes in to the dairy truck. So 2 insane accidents caught on camera that absolutely could have ended much worse, and people walk away with no injuries. The snow, will we be getting some here? That's the big question. We're going to go into the forecast right now. Here's what it looks like. We are experiencing a wind advisory, not only tonight, but all day tomorrow. A weather watch day for those nasty winds is on deck, and that's what we're talking about now. A fast-moving, as Tom Russell would say, clipper system coming our way, and we are looking at wind 40 miles per hour. So think about that. It's going to be a cold one. Snow squalls, yes, they are coming. Yes, they are possible. And they're going to touch down with this colder weather. So that is the immediate forecast when we say weather watch day for that wind. But I will give you a sneak peek as we head into the second half of the weekend. We start to warm up a little bit, which is really nice to think about, in my opinion. All right, so thanks for joining us online. We love to give you some sneak peeks of what's coming up, not only at 5, but things that you will see exclusively here as well. And we can talk one-on-one about some of the craziest video throughout the day and some of the stories as well. Plus, of course, it's always good to get some of that forecast in as well because it impacts all of us every single day. Thanks, guys, for joining us. I'm Jasmine Brooks, and I'll see you later. Bye.